Hello, my name is Abby Linville. This is my Module 7 assignment for internal and external publics. I created a flow chart that showcases the internal and external communications that take place in the school district I work in, Turner. To create my flowchart, I used the app Creately. I looked through the other choices that we had and felt like this one would be the best choice for me. It seemed easy to use and was easy to sign up for. Unfortunately, once I got into it a little bit, it was not as easy as I hoped it would be. It took me a second to realize how to add specific shapes and how to shade them correctly and how to make the lines connect and match up correctly. Once I figured it out through some trial and error, then it became much easier to use and I was able to go through the process at a quicker rate. I did have some difficulty running out of shapes. If I were making flowcharts regularly, it might be a consideration for me to do the upgrade on the app so that I would have more access to some of the features that the app has. When I created the chart, I wanted to make sure that you could see the difference quickly between the internal and the external publics. So I shaded my internal publics as yellow and my external as gray. The internal publics are those who are directly employed by the school district or the students who are attending the school district at this time. Those are defined under the internal publics. I defined external publics as those who support the district in the community, or that even if they are not in the direct community, but they're still supporting the community, they fall into external publics. I went back and forth between putting the parents in the external or the internal because I do feel like they are so heavily involved in the school district, but decided because of how we communicate with them, they probably were a better fit in the external category. So when looking at the internal communication within our school district, I very quickly found that all of our communication within the internal communication starts with our superintendent. It's a very top-down approach. He communicates with the Director of Human Resources and Assistant Superintendent of Student Services. They then communicate down to the principals, and the principals push that information out to the certified and classified staff, as well as, if you follow the flow chart, down to our parents as well. Most of the communication that takes place with the parents does come from the certified staff. The certified staff would include your teachers, social workers, and support staff that are certified. And so most of the communication comes from those certified staff. The certified staff also directly communicates to the students. When looking at the external publics, both the superintendent and parent community liaison do a lot of our communicating with the external publics. So the superintendent communicates a lot with the Turner Recreation Commission, who then also connects him to those senior citizen groups. He does a lot of the communication with elected officials and surrounding school districts. And the parent community liaison works a lot with our local businesses, faith-based groups, and the neighborhood associations. She also has her hand in the PTAs that are at the schools, and she does all of our electronic and print media. When you're looking at prospective employees in college and universities, I consider them an external public. Although the superintendent follows up with that, it's their direct contact is typically the director of human resources, and then she communicates with the other internal publics and connects those prospective employees in college and universities at their request or in when she sees a good fit. So one of the weaknesses that I noticed as I was creating the flow chart is that our external and internal publics don't always necessarily interact. We do a great job of communicating with our parents and our PTA, with the certified staff and the principals and the parent community liaison, but we don't do a great job with other external publics getting connected to internal publics. So one of the things I think we need to work on is using our parent community liaison to help teachers and principals get connected with local businesses, or neighborhood associations so that we can directly support the students in the classroom with some of the external publics that are available and that we've already made connections with in our school district. So when looking at the two-way communication, you'll see that on the left-hand side. I struggle with this because I feel like everybody in the internal and external publics, they're always expecting a two-way communication. So I decided to highlight the ones where I felt like they were going with two-way communication on a regular basis. So of course, parents and teachers are constantly communicating and talking back and forth with each other. The superintendent and parent community liaison, because they overlap some on who they're communicating with, they need to be in constant communication and having two-way communication about who's touching base with whom and what they're working on with each of those publics. The principals have to have transparent and frequent communication with the staff. If you would like your staff to support you in your district, in your school community, they need to be in the know, and that you need to make sure that your communication with them is transparent and is frequent so that they know what is going on. The students are also in constant communication with all staff as well. They're communicating their needs, and the staff is making sure that they are in the know with what is appropriate as well. And we know that good relationships between students and staff lead to higher student achievement. So they need to be in constant two-way communication with the staff as well. And then the superintendent is constantly in touch with our school board members, as they are very vital to our district, and he communicates what's going on in the district to them. When looking at how we're communicating with people, you'll see that on the upper left-hand side, a lot of oral communication takes place either in person through phone calls or on Teams. That goes on an ongoing basis. It's going on formally and informally all throughout the school year. A lot of communication is sent home. I put a connection between the written and the digital because most of what is written is sent digitally. So weekly newsletters from teachers are all sent home via email in a digital format or posted on their Schoology. Monthly newsletters from principals also go out through email to parents. The quarterly district newsletter is actually sent home or is sent to every address in the zip code that Turner belongs to. And any of the external publics also receive that quarterly newsletter. It's called the Turner Today, and that is sent out through the mail, and it's sent out digitally as well, so that if you didn't get it in your mailbox, you'll definitely see it pop up on a social media site so that you can see it as well, or in your email. And then teachers are constantly emailing parents and each other, and the superintendent sends out emails as well. Everyone is communicating through email on an ongoing basis. For digital, our social media is ran by the parent community liaison. She makes an attempt to post on each social media site at least 4 times a week. She tries to do it daily as she can. She takes a lot of consideration into what she puts out on social media because she wants to make sure the engagement is high. So she told me that she tries to make sure that she's not just posting like, oh, we have a football game on Friday and it starts at 7 o'clock. She wants more than that. She likes to tell stories about staff members, highlight students who are having high achievement, and telling stories about this, about specific students, about specific staffs, or what, like, if a teacher is doing something really cool and innovative in their classroom, she likes to highlight that as well, because she's noticed when she tells a story or shares something very specific like that there is higher engagement on the social media sites, and she gets more clicks. And then the more clicks you get, the more that your public will get a chance to see it, because it will pop up more frequently for them on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. I feel like as you look at our chart, you can see that the constant communication is apparent. There are lines directing to everywhere, and I feel like all of the communication that's taking place is in an effort to help support our students. So when we're talking to the principals are talking to the staff and the staff is talking to the parents, we're always focusing on what is best for the students. All of the connections that the superintendent is making with elected officials, surrounding school districts, it's all in an effort to make sure that we're getting the best to our kids that we can. I know that one of the things that we're wanting to work on in the upcoming years is building stronger communication with the faith-based groups in our community. That was something the parent community liaison and I talked about recently, that she said that was one of her focuses going in to the next school year, that we have several churches that are located in Turner that she hasn't had a chance to make those connections with yet, and that she feels are really vital to the community. And so that's her next focus, to help build some connections with them and see what they can offer them to support the faith-based groups, and again, how that can go back to supporting our students in the community as well. I think that our use of prospective employees in college and universities, we have a big push to find employees that are reflective of the community that we are serving. And so that was something that the Director of Human Resources has made a part of her aspects of the strategic plan. And so I think that is something that's really strong that we're looking at doing. The college and universities, that goes both ways. We connect with college and universities to get student teachers and practicum students into our school district, so we can kind of get like a feel of those students and kind of get our name out there to them. As well as a small school district, sometimes you need to get your names out so that you can get the highest quality candidates coming to apply in your district. And she's been working with that, and we also connect with them so that we can look for ways that we can help support our high school students in identifying colleges and universities they want to go to. Or sometimes we've connected with the community colleges in the area to help build a bridge between high school and community college, and some of the students at the end of their senior year will look into moving into some college courses before they graduate, which is really awesome. So I think that you can kind of see that we're using all of our connections as possible to support the students in Turner. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. Have a great day.